Hey folks, thanks for dropping in on me today. This is Sunny's Washington, and once a week what I'm going to do is show you my Washington. I figure you all have had enough of the angry black woman and the small voice in the nation's capital. Spring is here, the cherry blossoms are blooming, the weather is warm, although it's a bit of a chilly, windy day today, but I thought I'd bring you out and show you a bit of Washington that's had a renaissance. And this is U Street. What you've got here is an area that was absolutely devastated by the riots in the 60s. And it has blossomed into one of the most vibrant areas for shopping, for eating, for anything you want to do on a Friday or a Saturday night. If you're looking for Ethiopian food, if you're looking for Mexican, it is all right here on U Street. It can be found right here. Now to the east on U Street, what we've got is the neighborhood that includes Howard University. All the way down on the other end of U Street is Howard University's neighborhood. To the west, we have 16th Street, which is mainly residential, lovely area if you can afford it. Here in the nation's capital, property values are through the roof, so it's a rather pricey neighborhood to the west on U Street. So what I'm going to do is show you some of my U Street in Washington. So why don't you come along and we'll show you some of those places. Now, a part of the renaissance that has happened along U Street is minority businesses have become very, very prosperous. And they may not agree with the term prosperous, but minorities do own any number of businesses along U Street, and I think that's a wonderful thing, especially since the neighborhood was a minority neighborhood initially. Well, let me stop here and give you a bit of history on U Street. U Street was the neighborhood where black folks could come and be entertained, could actually get a room during the 30s, 40s, and 50s. It was the black Broadway of Washington. And so when it burned in the 60s, it was a devastating loss to the community. And it is back, and it is vibrant, and it includes wonderful businesses. One such is the Mocha Hut. Now, the Mocha Hut has just recently moved into the U Street neighborhood, and it's patronized by a good number of Howard University students. It gets a lot of foot traffic. The food is very good, and I am personally really glad to see that this has become a bit of a shining star along U Street, and as I said, it's minority owned. So let's go up a little ways further on U Street and let me show you some other businesses. Now, the other thing that U Street is known for are the home furnishing stores. If you're looking for funky, avant-garde, if you're looking for just the perfect sofa, the perfect armchair, the perfect vase, there are great home furnishing stores also along U Street. So let's go and check out a few more of these stores. Now, one of the things that has changed along U Street is that when it was being decided on how it was going to be renovated and rehabbed and gentrified, what has happened is that the planners included great spaces for living. And so along U Street, you've got great spaces, you've got condos, you've got townhouses. So this area, fortunately, and one of the namesake buildings here is the Ellington, because of course in honor of one of the musicians that Washington claims as home is Duke Ellington, and they have named this building in his honor. So the spaces are eclectic, are wide open. You have great loft type living spaces along U Street, along 14th Street and U Street. So this is a great place to live. It's not just a place to go and eat and shop. There are folks who call this neighborhood home. And as I said, Ellington, the Ellington is one of those places. So I interrupted my trip over to Ben's Chili Bowl. So we should probably get on over there. is a wonderful thing. It's pedestrian friendly, and from one location to another, it seems I get caught up in what's here. And when I want to tell people about what's here, I oftentimes forget theater, or I forget a restaurant. So as I was walking on my way to Ben's, I realized I had forgotten to let you all know that this is the home of one of the best theaters in the city. It's right on U Street. It's the Lincoln Theater, and it's been beautifully renovated. It's home to any number of theater performances, musical performances. So if you are in town, look in the newspaper to see what's playing, who is performing at the Lincoln Theater. So I have finally made it to dinner. I'm standing in front of Ben's Chili Bowl. Ben's Chili Bowl is an absolute monument. It is the most famous joint along U Street. If you make it to Washington, you've got to come along U Street and have some chili fries. You've got to have a half smoke at Ben's Chili Bowl. Now, it has been around since, as the sign on the front says, since 1958. Now, I'm not sure if that's a significant year to anybody in my audience, but it's certainly a significant year to me, although I'm not laying claim to it. I'm just saying it's a significant year to me. So if you get down and you're jonesing for some chili fries, some half smokes, some milkshakes in the middle of the night, this is the spot to be in. It has been around forever and ever. As a matter of fact, I believe there's a street named after one of the owners. It's called Ben Ali Way. So now actually it looks like a bit of an alley to me, but it's still, they've been here long enough that the street has been named after them. So if you get down, you will be joining legions of Howard University students who have enjoyed Ben's Chili Bowl for generation after generation. So I'm going to have dinner. Thanks for joining me on this first Sunny's Washington, and I hope to see you next time. I'm going to have dinner.